Every Sunday, we in red, black, plant-based, yeah, tap in. Hey! Hit the dial, let it spin. Road tripping, vegans check in. Stories from the highway, cooler in the back. Snacks in the front seat, maps on the dash. The hip-hop vegan drop gems in the flow. Bars about books, about blocks, about growth. Culture on the plate, culture in the mind. Serving up the truth, one rhyme at a time. Yeah. Red, black, and vegan on a Sunday. Turn it up, let the whole fam run play. 11 to 1, that's the one way. Straight to your heart, this the brunch way. Red, black, and vegan on a Sunday. Talk that love, talk that justice in a fun play. Pull up to the table, don't be late. Red, black, and vegan on a Sunday. Curly vegan with the curls so free. Laugh so loud, you can feel that peace. Recipes, remedies, roots in the soil. Self-love shimmering like hot water boil. Calling from the city, from the countryside. Talking about the kids, about the elders' pride. Red in the heart, black in the soul. Vegan in the kitchen, that's how we roll. Hey! Red, black, and vegan on a Sunday. Turn it up, let the whole fam run play. 11 to 1, that's the one way. Straight to your heart, just the brunch way. Red, black, and vegan on a Sunday. Talk that love, talk that justice in the fun play. Pull up to the table, don't be late. Red, black, and vegan on a Sunday. Yeah.
Good morning. I want to thank everybody for joining in today. For people who are looking live, or if you see this as a reel or a post or whatever, thank you for watching. It's the Hip Hop Vegan from Red, Black, and Vegan. I do need to hit this button. For now, people can hopefully hear me since I did shit wrong. But good morning and thanks for joining in this morning. It's the Red, Black, and Vegan Podcast, episode 13. The Hip Hop Vegan this morning. I want to give a big shout out to my co-host who is not in attendance today, the Curly Vegan. She's not in attendance, but she is in attendance because she did make me some vegetable fritters that we gonna get into this morning. But with that being said, y'all know how we do things.
Who y'all talking to?
Who we talking to today? Well, we had a different lineup, but we have a couple in studio guests and one video guest. We have Vegan Vex Life coming from Parkland, Florida. Later on, we also have one of our plant-based friends here in the city, Big Boy G, coming through. And we have our old school family members, STL Vegan Market, starting the show. To our quote unquote, we're gonna say if I can stop this, local celebrity Kyle Luzinski. He wasn't expecting that. We got the same kind of introduction on the lab, the Nutrition Lab podcast with my good friend Michelle Ross. Big shout out to Show Me Nourish. And she said that about us on our podcast. And we was like, we're not no celebrities. But it's a good friend of mine, good friend of the show, STL Vegan Market. This is Kyle Lazinski. And also a new member of the team. This is Troy
Stofie.
Yeah, make sure you speaking to the mic and project, Troy.
Of course. Yes.
We're gonna get some information from the newest member of the team, Troy, today. But we're gonna start off with Kyle this morning. Good morning, Kyle. How you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for the vegan media you produce and the voice you give to vegans all over the place. It just occurred to me that you are a vegan super connector. You're connected with people all across the country and in some cases around the world. And you do the only show of its kind in all of St. Louis. So thank you for doing that.
Oh man, thanks a lot. Man, I wasn't expecting that. But that's true though. Hey, the Red, Black, and Vegan family, we try to extend our branches all over the world as much as we can to further the cause of being plant-based and being vegan. Not just for dietary reasons, but for animal reasons as well. We try to include everybody we possibly can in this pursuit of not so much preaching, but telling the world about being plant-based and the joys of being plant-based. You know what I'm saying? Like today's title for today's show is Plant-Powered Progression. That's today's title of our show, because we are trying to progress on plant-powered, and we're trying to show people how to be plant-powered and being progressive and being plant-powered, and how to move their life forward in whatever way, shape, or fashion they are doing. If you can, for the people who have not, who are tuning in, first of all, if anyone tuning in, if you have any questions or comments, please give us a phone call at 515-599-1687. If you have any questions or comments for Kyle, me or Troy, it's 515-599-1687. That's the hotline to the studio. If you can, give the people a little background about STL Vegan Market.
Absolutely. STL Vegan Market, it turns out, is one of the only vegan markets in the entire world. As Project Animal Freedom, the organization behind STL Vegan Market, we recently founded the Vegan Market Alliance, which is an effort to assemble, unite, bring together all the vegan markets around the world. And based on preliminary research, there are only about 200. That is, for the over 8.1 billion people in the world, there are just 200 vegan markets. That's about 40 million people per vegan market. Almost half of them are located in the UK and the US. There are quite a few in Australia, in Europe, Asia, some in Africa, some in South America. But the largest concentration of vegan markets is actually in the UK. They have over 60 active vegan markets out of the 200 or so in the entire world, which is just an astonishing level of concentration. But that's something very interesting that I wanted to share. And just one more way to phrase this is that there's roughly one country for every vegan market in the entire world. Wow. Vegan markets are very rare and therefore incredibly valuable. And we're so glad to lead. I help lead the vegan market in conjunction with another superstar on our team, Alex Osbolt, who's been on this show, the Red, Black, and Vegan podcast, a couple times before. Today, we're joined by Troy Stolfi, who helps with the market very substantially, although we're sending you on a vacation to Vibrant Vegan Fest for the next one.
Are you going to Vibrant Vegan Fest?
Yes, I am.
Oh my God!
So
I've been. I hate to cut you off, but please, can you let people know what Vibrant Vegan Fest is? Because I've seen it advertised, and I was interested in going. But for the people who have seen the advertisement and thought about going, and they may or may not be going, can you please go ahead and expound on that?
Yeah, so I only found out about it like a little over a month ago, so I don't know too much about it yet. But it's, I think, a 4-day fest outside of Kansas City,
right.
And they bring a bunch of vegan professionals. It ranges from yoga to nutrition to animal rights, and it's just like a big vegan get-together gathering, and there's plenty of delicious food, activities, and it should be really fun.
Yeah. Now, are you somebody that likes camping anyway, though, or are you used to camping or anything like that?
I used to camp a lot, but I've not camped in years, so I think I'll like the vibe of it all, though. It seems fun, naturey. It seems like it'll be a great time.
Now, in regards to what we were speaking about before, as far as vegan markets, do you frequent markets around the city? Any couple that stand out in your mind?
Yeah, I recently, actually, sadly, for the first time, I had just visited it. Was Tower Grove, their market, and it's surprisingly vegan friendly. I wasn't sure what to expect, but
Oh,
they had a few fully vegan vendors like Big Mama's House,
oh, of course.
um,
Great friends of
and
the
they
show.
had vegan friendly places, and it was just a really nice place. Yeah.
I went a couple of weeks ago, uh, and she surprised me. She was sampling street corn that day. Not sampling, but she let us have some street corn. I don't know if you got a chance to have it or anything. If she had it the day that you went, but if you've had that street corn, what do you rate that street corn?
I haven't had it yet. We almost last year collaborated with Big Mama's House, Big Mama, the Patricia, but I think she prefers to go by Big Mama, on a, what do you call it, on May 5th, a vegan Cinco de Mayo event, and we want to bring that back next year. That would be so exciting, and I know basically everything Big Mama makes is scrumptious.
Yes, it
Even
is.
her very
Yes.
healthy gluten-free desserts are delicious, and surprisingly so. So yeah, we love Big Mama. She's a market staple. We really hope she can make it to our vegan barbecue fest on Sunday, September 13th, when Troy won't have to be responsible for coordinating volunteers. He'll be at Vibrant Vegan Fest at Lake Doniphan in outside of Kansas City.
Right. Yeah, Vibrant Vegan Fest. That looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of educational information
Yes,
as well.
that's what really draws me. It's not just like, a bunch of vegan food, which I would be happy with. It's also a lot of educational things and a really good opportunity to meet fellow vegans and people in the community.
Now let's get to some of your background. Are you from St. Louis?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. We got to ask you this. Where'd you go to high school?
I go to Seckman High School.
You went to Seckman.
Yeah, I actually am still in high school.
Oh, you're still in high school.
Yes.
Oh my God, I did not know you were that young. Wow, you're such a young person. Class of what?
This year.
Oh, you graduated?
But
this
yeah.
year? Oh,
What
okay.
year is it? 2027.
Congratulations, man. Hey, love education. And to be a teenage plant-based student is great. How do you navigate that during first of all, how long have you been plant-based, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been vegan a little over 2 years. I was vegetarian for a year before, but then I saw the reality of the dairy and egg industry, and I kind of just went vegan overnight.
Okay.
So yeah, I went vegan sophomore year of high school, and then I found Project Animal Freedom, and since then I've just been super obsessed and vegan-tastically living my life.
I understand now. We've had guests in conjunction with like a parent, but you actually are our first teenage guest. And
Wow.
the perspective that you have, it's a lot different than the average teenager. And we would love to hear, your perspective on being plant-based as a young man, because we never really get a chance to hear that. And I'm a lot older than you guys, but people never really get the chance to hear a teenager speak about veganism and what drove them to that route. Because as teenagers, we know we're extremely used to junk food, or just regular, just junk food. That's the staple of the teenage diet. But with your generation, and you're actually a wildflower. You're someone who's completely different than the average teenager. Speak about, if you can, I don't want to say, I guess I want to say like some of the stereotype that you may be breaking down or come against, you know what I'm saying? Or some of the, I don't know if there's ever been any kind of teasing or bullying, quote unquote, because I know how teenagers get because we like to joke. We like to talk about things that we're unaware of. You know what I'm saying? And when a lot of times as human beings, period, when we don't know about things, we like to crack jokes about them because we don't know. But with you being on this side and being able to witness to other younger people about the joys of living this way. How do you navigate that or go about that?
Well, before I found Project Animal Freedom, it was a struggle because I think when you first go vegan, I mean, sure you have to learn to read ingredient labels or figure out what material some pair of shoes is made of. But the hardest part for me was the social aspect. So, I didn't know anyone that was vegan. My cousin, she was vegetarian, but that was really my only exposure to it. I'd never been to a vegan restaurant. Like, I didn't know anything really.
Okay.
So I went to the fish-free fish fry that Project Animal Freedom hosted a few years ago, and I found a bunch of like-minded people. I still have yet to find many teenagers that are vegan, especially in my school. A lot of people don't really know what it means, or they just kind of have like a preconceived notion that's usually false or just based on false stereotypes. So, yeah, it's a little difficult sometimes with that.
And that's where Kyle and I come in as well.
Yes.
In regards to letting people know we're about breaking down stereotypes within this lifestyle. In regards to it, whether it be dietarily, whatever it may be, that's one of our main goals is letting people know it's not what you think. In any way possible, we try to, that's what we're about. Whether if it's coming on the show, whether if it's doing something out in the public,
Yeah.
we are trying to get people to understand it's not nothing that you thought before. So it's pretty much kind of a way to get you to understand as you go further in this life. Don't worry about what people are not listening to or not believing, because it's always going to be times when it feels like it's falling on deaf ears, and that's a lot of times what we deal with. Times when we're at home alone or working on something, it's like, man, there's going to be times when you feel like, is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? Like what I've been going through lately, my personal issues have been keeping my creative genes from making videos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just something as simple as that. And it's something me and Kyle have talked about before. When your creative process is being disturbed, and how do you keep going forward? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just when you're buoyed by the fact that what your purpose is, what you're doing, that's what keeps us going. Because there's a lot of times when you question yourself, like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting paid for this. You know what I'm saying? I spend my own money for this. But the payment is on the other end. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing the message behind what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And what you're charged with, leading the youth, is great. It's
Yes.
thankless, very thankless.
Yeah, it's veganism. Veganism is something where you kind of don't really expect a reward. A lot of things you do, like you expect praise or reward, but I think it's hard for a lot of people because it's not necessarily about themselves. It's about others and their lives, and yeah.
And it's grateful. It's great to hear that from a young person, because we need people within your demographic as well as ours, but especially your demographic, to follow in Kyle's footsteps.
Yes.
That's why he brought you on the team. A big shout out to all the people who are listening in and looking in on Instagram. The Vegan Snob, Great Foods USA. Those are people back in out in Sacramento. That's my guy, Chef Scooby. Redhead Vegan Julie joined in. Vegan Activist Forum. Emmy in New York City. Like we were saying before, the Red, Black, and Vegan family extends worldwide. It really does, and we appreciate everybody for joining in today. For a second, we're going to stop this and look at some of these. Yeah, some of these vegan fritters that the Curly Vegan made this morning. if I can get the camera on this, I'm gonna put some of this sauce on here first. Give y'all a chance to grab a couple of these. Yeah, we're gonna sop these in some like sweet and sour sauce. I don't know what kind of sauce this is, but you wanna grab one of them?
I can have one?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It looks so delicious. And
Oh,
I
we
can
done-
tell you how good it is.
Troy?
Thank you.
Oh yeah, we getting down like that.
This is phenomenal. Uh-oh, I'm making a mess. Let me.
It's all good. Hey, the people want to know what they look like, and they need their rating. Yeah, y'all know we got the plant scale.
I wish I knew how to cook that good.
Big shout out to the Curly Vegan as usual. Like I told y'all, if you ever see me eating anything online and it's not from a restaurant, she made it. Now, I don't have a gun to these gentlemen's heads. And we're going to get this plant rating from them. 1 to 5 plants? 5 being the top?
I'm going to give it a 5 plants because it's probably the best fritter I've ever had, which means it's exceptionally good. But then again, I haven't had many fritters.
Oh, man.
So it's just delicious. I mean, if you want to be, a snob, you could say 4.7, 4.8. It could have been hotter. It wasn't fresh and steamy.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because one of our internet friends, the vegan snob, is watching right now.
Oh, that's great.
We waiting on you to come on the show. That's funny as hell. That's ironic as hell. But your family as well, the vegan snob. So we just waiting on you. Everybody's on the clock. What kind of things besides our huge announcement do you guys got coming forward in the future that you can speak towards, especially for the people who aren't in attendance or have not seen? Can you speak some more about veganstl.com?
I absolutely can, and I'm so honored to have the opportunity to do so. Before I talk about some of our major upcoming events and the website overall, I want to let you know that Troy is increasingly overloaded. We just keep giving him responsibility after responsibility. We try to keep you at 20 hours a week, but the last couple weeks I think you've gone over. Hopefully this week you don't go over.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're trying to keep you at 20 hours a week until we get more funding. But more relevantly to this conversation, I think I can talk about, for example, big food events and maybe some broader initiatives as Project Animal Freedom that go just beyond our St. Louis chapter. And maybe you can talk about the more activist-y, animal rights-y stuff, since I know that's where your passion lies. And you're the main reason that we do a lot of this activism beyond, the standard, like once a year, march to close all slaughterhouses, vegan climate march, etc. You're driving a lot of our vegan advocacy, activism, and outreach. And you just leafleted with Austin from Vegan Outreach this Tuesday, right?
Yes, I did. Maybe Tuesday? I don't remember which day. But
Which university and how was that experience? And I heard a cop gave you trouble?
yes, it was the one in Belleville. Is that SIUE, right?
I think so.
I think.
Belleville?
Or maybe.
No,
Oh, no,
Edwardsville.
that's in Edwardsville.
Southwest Swick. That's Southwest Illinois Community
I
College.
think it's Swick, yes.
Yeah. So what happened?
So we were leafleting outside, just in like the grassy area where a bunch of students passed by, and someone reported our leaflets, I think, to one of the police officers because they said someone showed us this, and the police officer he was friendly, but he definitely didn't want us to be there anymore. So he took us to the student life office, and thankfully we were able to be moved by them to a table, but it was inside with less. I know. Yeah, but we got moved to a table inside, and it had less traction than outside. We still handed out a little under 500 leaflets, and we also had Biscoff cookies to give out to everyone. So people were really receptive, and we had some good conversations. It was a great time.
Okay, that sounds great then.
And what was the take rate?
It was like 99%. Like maybe 5 people said no. I was
wow.
actually really surprised about that.
Oh wow, that's really good. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's man. Let's get some more background on you, Troy. What was your family's response to when you went plant-based?
So I'd already been vegetarian for a year, and they were just like, whatever, you know, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. But I remember specifically, I had watched Dominion, and I think it was that night. I came out to like our back patio area, and I was like, Mom, Dad, I'm going vegan. And it was actually pretty scary because they were not very happy about it at first. I think they just didn't really understand what it was. And like literally the next day we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. And so like my first day navigating as a vegan, basically I had to, you know, pull up one of those random guides on, you know, online and figure out how to customize myself a vegan meal. So I was like, oh no, this is scary already. But then I ended up going to different vegan restaurants, and I remember it had been multiple months, and my favorite thing used to be like bagels and cream cheese. And for some reason, I thought vegan cream cheese didn't exist.
Oh wow.
But I was just walking in the store, and I was like, oh my gosh, vegan cream cheese. And then I realized like anything I'd ever miss was findable. And that really helped me, and I've found so many amazing products, and yeah.
Now, with you being so young, do you cook any vegan meals?
Yeah, so I would pretty much never cook before, and it kind of forced me to learn to cook a little bit because you can't always just go out to eat or, you know,
Right.
expect something to be made for you. So
Now, as a twist, did you have home economics in school?
I think I took it online or something,
Oh my gosh.
so it
You
wasn't.
take home economics online.
Well, I took something in middle school, but the teacher, he would just show videos and stuff. Like I think we cooked a few times, but I kind of was just to the side, like I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I've learned how to cook a lot. I recently have been doing things like seitan, and I went to the international market on South Grand, and they have a bunch of really cool like soy-based products I found. So I'm really just, this is my summer of cooking, I've said.
I got you. Now, favorite dish to eat and favorite dish to prepare.
Ooh,
Now, favorite dish to eat
could
that
be a
that-
restaurant.
That could be at any one of these lovely vegan restaurants we have in the area.
Yes. Well, favorite dish to eat. It's more like it's like a milkshake though. It's maybe not a dish.
What?
But it's Bombay Food Junkies. They have a Faluda milkshake. I don't know if you've had it. It is the most incredible thing ever. It's got, Kyle, is it like rose syrup and basil seeds, and it's even got noodles. It's really cool.
No, I'm trying to think. Cause we was just there 2 weeks ago, and she got a kind of shake. I got an orange dreamsicle shake.
Yes, I have that.
And big shout out to Sid and Croup to do. Those my people too. I'm waiting on them to come back on the show. You know, she learned how to cook on YouTube.
What?
And this was like, she told me out of her own mouth. She learned how to cook on YouTube within the last 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, she makes all the desserts.
Yeah, I recently had one of her cakes, and it was impeccable.
Mango cardamom?
It wasn't the cardamom. It was, I actually ordered a whole cake for my birthday. It was
wow.
the Mango Madness, I think it's called. But it's just mango upon mango upon mango.
Oh, damn, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Anybody who had who's had her cooking, they know what we talking about right now, because she gets down, and everything is flavorful and tasty. Big shout out to some of our guests who are watching in once again. We got Northern Paradise and Perry Rajan, Soul Reaper Chef. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions or comments, 515-599-1687. 515-599-1687. One thing I wanted to ask you, Kyle, excuse me, with the role that STL Vegan Market plays within the community, what would you like to see more of within the vegan plant-based community in St. Louis?
Oh my goodness. Well, I wrote about this just yesterday. I am the executive director of hashtag Project Animal Freedom. I also run most of our marketing activities, although Troy's starting to help more substantially with those tasks, including maintaining veganstl.com. In fact, speaking of big events, you published your first event page on veganstl.com. And which one was it?
It was the Vegan Thanksgiving Feast.
Where?
It will be at the Ethical Society. Yeah?
When?
At Gina's Vegan Cuisine. You're thinking of Vegan Trivia
wrong
Night.
place. That'll be at Gina's Vegan Cuisine.
Yeah. Absolutely. So as an executive director, you are charged with ensuring that the organization not only survives and thrives, but that it realizes its mission as effectively as possible. And often that comes down to the resources you can create or bring in for the organization, especially financial. So really what I want to see more of, and I have a legitimate gripe here, is wealthier vegans, vegans with more spare money, vegans with, more financial access and resources and opportunities to donate several hundred or several $1,000s to Project Animal Freedom, because we're a small grassroots organization and funding is far and away the biggest barrier to everything we do. Because if you have money, you can hire people like Troy and more work gets done, more stuff happens in the community, more good is achieved, more impact is generated, more animals are saved. I know this isn't probably the answer that many people would expect, but just the lived daily reality of being the ED of really any small nonprofit is you live in a state of perpetual crisis because your funding is about to run out within a handful of months. And if you don't keep the fundraising engine alive, the organization dies. At a bare minimum, critical support infrastructure, programs, and services will begin shutting down. And I've sort of, just in the last week or so, I've really started stepping into my identity as the executive director of a nonprofit organization, specifically a small grassroots animal rights organization. And I can tell you, funding is crucial. Funding is key. The more money we have, the more stuff we can do. It is basically a 1-to-1 ratio. Every $200 is another event. Every $50 is another protest. Every $1,000 is another chapter. Every $10,000, $20,000 is another part-time worker for Project Animal Freedom, or maybe as little as $5,000 or $6,000. Yeah, that's what I would like to personally see more of. And of course, there are other things, but funding is sort of at the root of it. We could do exponentially more as Project Animal Freedom. We could reach so many more people. We could help so many more animals. We could do so much more for the community, much more reliably, if only we had the funding. And I know the wealthy vegans, the rich vegans, the well-to-do, the financially comfortable vegans are out there. And my question is, where are you? And what do we need to do to earn your support? Please tell me.
Right.
We need donations so bad. I know that's not the best answer in the world, but that's my personal perspective. And if you want me to elaborate on some of the things we could do, like talking about, it's not all about the money, but funding really dictates to a great degree what you can do. Basically, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. The more money you have, the more you can do for the community. So what we're looking to do in November is STL Veg Month, a whole month about veganism in St. Louis. We'll probably have a Gateway to Compassion challenge where we inspire people to take the plant-based plunge. We did an STL Veganuary campaign. Over 700 people participated, signed up to take the challenge. I'm not sure how many are still vegan, but heck, over 500 of those 700 people are still on our mailing list, so we haven't lost everyone. And some of those people have come to our event specifically because they participate in our STL Veganuary campaign. And some people told me that the whole reason they came to our event, because even though they're not vegan, they're transitioning to veganism because of that campaign. But the cost to coordinate a campaign of that scale, to do it right, to have the marketing budget, to reach all these people, get all these signups, host all these events, it's thousands of dollars. Literally, we've already kind of budgeted $10,000, and we literally don't have the money. So it's my job as executive director to somehow invent the resources so we can have a full-fledged STL Veg Month campaign.
Okay, I understand that. And thank you so much for saying that, because it's something that really needed to be said and done, because once again, people need to know. I mean, if people don't know, if you are a nonprofit, that's exactly what that means. You have to depend on funding, fundraising, donations. Unfortunately, our next in studio guest is just canceled, but that's no problem, because like I stated, everything's supposed to happen for a reason. And while we're on the subject of collaborating, and like we were talking about earlier with Troy having the locations mixed up for a second. Speaking of Adina's Vegan Cuisine and STL Vegan Market and Red, Black, and Vegan, we are collaborating on November 1st, which is World Vegan Day. And November is also Hip Hop Month. And we will be having a World Vegan Day hip hop celebration in conjunction with Adina's Vegan Cuisine. It's going to be hosted at Adina's Vegan Cuisine on November 1st from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We are currently looking for about 5 to 6 vendors. Naturally, there won't be any food vendors, but we are looking for any of our plant-based friends who want to celebrate World Vegan Day and hip-hop. November 1st is going on live. We're going to have a great time. We're bringing people together. That's what we do here at Red, Black, and Vegan, and that's what STL Vegan Market does. And we are collaborating with our good friends from Adina's Vegan Cuisine, and we're going to have an outstanding time on November 1st. Hopefully, you guys will be there. Tickets will be going on sale soon. No, unfortunately, it's not a free event. So, as we were just discussing, we're raising funds. We're having some fun. It's a lovely place. If you've never been there to Adina's, most people know where Adina's is, on the corner of Page and Ferguson. That 6716.
I believe it's 6746 Page Avenue.
6746 Page, right. That's where Adina's Vegan Cuisine is at, November 1st. We're going to constantly be posting about this from now on. But not constantly, but we're going to let people know how much it costs to be a vendor very soon. Very soon, once we work out these details. But we're going to have a great time and put this together. And man, we're gonna have a great celebration. We love hip hop here, and we love being plant based and bringing the community together to celebrate and have some fun, non-violently, and have some great food. With that being said, as well, if you can, Troy. Big shout out to Northern Paradise, checking us out on Instagram. Now the Red, Black, and Vegan family has officially reached Norway.
Wow.
We're in the house. Troy, we need to know. We like to have all of our guests look squarely in the camera and let our vegan curious people know, where do you get your protein from?
You can get your protein from a plethora of sources like lentils, all kinds of legumes, including beans, chickpeas, things like seitan, tofu, plant-based meats, soybeans, soy milk. Anywhere, pretty much anywhere, there's some sort of protein, and legumes and lentils are super strong in it.
Be healthy, y'all.
Man, you don't know how. He doesn't know how good that sounds coming from a teenager. I'm saying that's a teenager, man. We fight so much against people who are our age and older about their mindsets and mind frames because as you get older, you get so used to and set in your eating ways. And some of it is traditional from family. You know, my grandmother is 92 years old. She ate pork, blah, 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 blah. And it's
Yeah.
like, I always tell people, like, unless you live with Granny, you don't really know what she ate every day. I'm pretty sure she had a lot of vegetables. She wasn't just eating ribs every day at 92 years old. But these are the kind of things that you have to fight up against. As well, I was thinking about some of the things you were saying when you were speaking as well. Um, when you getting used to having to veganize your meals, that's one thing that we do here at Red, Black, and Vegan. Trying to, excuse me, trying to always locating different restaurants nationally, locally, nationally, as the Road Tripping Vegans, making sure we can find spots and places for our community, our family to go to. Like when you go out of town on your senior trip, wherever you guys may be going, Cancun, wherever you guys may be going, Cancun, wherever you guys may be going, Cancun, for the senior trip, nonstop flights.
I'll keep that in mind.
I'm just letting you know. They got some of the best onion rings at a place called the Surf and Burrito. It's 24 hours.
Okay.
I don't even eat onion rings in the United States anymore
Me neither.
because they were, Kyle, these onions were so big and sweet. They were like tempura battered, almost tempura, and they just great onion rings. And as soon as I came back here, I'm like, I'm gonna try some onion rings somewhere, and it's like, nope, never, not again, nope. Only international waters for me with onion rings. But it's just really comforting to see a young person with that mindset and that mind frame, and just knowing, like I said, it's going to be an uphill battle sometimes, but just keep your head up and knowing that it's not about changing everybody's mind or opinion, but as long as you can help at least one person, that's
Yes.
all that matters. At least one person. If you know that one, I'm thinking it could be a homeless person, like, but it's if someone has been willing to listen, and that's all you want is just someone willing to listen and let me at least be able to get my point across, to them and help them because not on here at Red, Black, and Vegan, we spotlight restaurants, regular people who are vegan like ourselves, and the vegan curious. And those are the people, with us being regular plant-based people now, we were once vegan curious. And those are the people that we really are trying to help with their transition, whether it be, letting them know we're not eating impossibles and beyond all the time. Oh, no. That's like, I don't want to say a delicacy, but it's almost like that's just something that we, every now and then now.
Yeah.
You know, what I don't know. What are some of the restaurants that you like? You know what I'm saying? That stick out in your mind.
Well,
Besides Bombay,
yeah.
we know you about Bombay, and I know you like Treehouse.
Yes, yeah, we went to Treehouse.
Those
the
two
other
are
day.
excluded. You can't name those two,
Yes.
but places that you like to frequent, especially like like and I hate to keep harping on this, but it's so nice, like I stated, to have the younger generation.
Yeah.
If you had some friends and they came to you like, Troy, what kind of spots can you take us to with you being plant based? Because they don't know.
Yeah. One of my and Kyle's favorite spots is Seeds Cafe in Clayton. We went yesterday actually. Their food is absolutely delicious, and I really like it because some places it's more like the plant-based meat alternatives, which are delicious. But it's really interesting because Seeds doesn't tend to use a lot of those, so it's cool to see what they can just do with plants just
Right.
in their kitchen right there. A lot of it's just whole foods, plant-based. So pretty much everything there I feel like they make in-house, and it's just really cool. It tastes so wholesome, all their food. And their smoothies are just
Oh,
Incredible.
Man, I was just about to say, have you had the blue spirulina?
The blue wave. Oh my gosh.
Oh, so we got 3 people here who can identify about that blue wave. Tell us about the blue wave. Either one of y'all.
I will, because I'm like a rep for it at this point. Every time we go, I tell everyone to get the blue wave, but with soy milk, not almond. I don't know why I like the soy more, but so it's got spirulina, which is an algae, and it makes it blue. I think it's got cashew yogurt in it, so it gives it like a fun creamy taste to it. It has a banana. What else does it have, Kyle?
Maybe some, or is that the one of their smoothies without dates? I think
I think it has agave syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it is phenomenally good. It is.
Yes.
I finally bought my second one ever yesterday. In fact, basically all I had yesterday was drinks because we were out doing a Darius Scary protest at the Culvers by the South County Costco. And if you didn't know, yesterday was 90 plus degrees. It was quite hot. And even being in the sun for 2 or 3 hours was difficult for me because I am such a fat vegan. # you can eat very well as a vegan. I am proof of that. And you don't even want to know how hard I eat. I eat so hard. That's why I've got my bat wings.
I'm laughing at something else completely. Trust
and
me.
I can play with my.
Have either one of y'all ever seen Anchorman?
Yeah.
No.
You've never seen
No,
Anchorman?
no.
Oh my God!
When was it made?
I don't know the year, but I can
2010.
tell you.
I was hardly alive
If you're ever having a bad day,
Okay.
look at the movie Anchorman.
Okay.
It's impossible to continue having a bad day, unless you are like the Grinch. That is like one of the top 5 funniest movies of all time. That's why I started laughing, because only thing I was thinking about was milk was a bad choice. Now you see the laughter that you see what I'm saying?
Yes, it must be a really good movie then.
When everyone who heard the term milk was a bad choice, they know exactly what I'm talking about. So when you see the movie, think back to this conversation.
Okay.
Also, are you a fan of Jack Black?
I don't really watch too many of movies
Just
with
leave,
him.
just leave the studio just right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Just get out.
Choice.
Jack
very
Black
young.
is the man. No, but only reason I say that because he only has like 5 minutes in the movie, but it's legendary.
Yeah.
Legendarily funny. This is like top level funny. 5 minutes. That's all he has, but extremely funny. This movie is just. Oh my God, man! You trust me. Just even today, just sit back and just watch the movie. It's nothing but laughter for 2 hours. Just extreme. Do you like Will Ferrell?
Mm-hmm.
This is Will Ferrell at Hall of Fame GOAT level funny. Trust me. Milk was a bad choice. That's all I can think about because I'm like I love it because the first time I went to Seeds and I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, I'm just reading the blue wave, the ingredients. I'm like, damn, that look good.
I
Oh,
know.
God. But the only thing I had there that I want to say, quote unquote, I did not like, and I don't like saying anything negative about people's food or anything like that. I personally am not a tempeh fan. I'm not a big tempeh fan.
Yeah.
So, but and I didn't that sandwich. I didn't like that sandwich because I'm not a tempeh fan. But when, going back, I've never had an issue going back at all, ever. Even with them at Vegan Market, they're great people, great food. That pizza is great. The sandwiches, that Reuben is good. Even though I'm not a tempeh guy, but that Reuben is good. That may have been the first sandwich that I had, but no, it wasn't. That was like the second, cause I went there and I had something else on. I got some old memories that popped up, but yeah, Seeds, great people, great food. I was just gonna ask you guys too, since I said I saw you guys at the brunch last week. What was your thoughts and take on the brunch at Treehouse? Yeah, before you guys get into the answering this, have you had the lemon dessert? God, that is just like I can't. Every time I go there, I get that. And matter of fact, I've went there before and only had that, which is like $9 and some tax after tax, 9 and some change. But um, man, that is like the best dessert. That's one of the best desserts in St. Louis. When it comes to vegan food, even though I am partially biased to my girl from Sweet Treats, and that strawberry cinnamon roll. Have you had the raspberry? Was it raspberry or blueberry? I think it was blueberry.
I've had the standard cinnamon roll flavor. I've had one or two others. I think my parents got the strawberry, but I don't think I've tried it yet. But I know Sweet Treats of St. Louis is phenomenal.
Oh, yes.
Taryn is an amazing baker. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been trying to get her on the show, but as you know, she stays busy. She stays busy. I've actually chased her over the city in a way. I was trying to catch her. She was at a function in Ferguson, and I was trying to catch her before they closed. And right when I got there, she was going to the car, and but she was sweet enough to let me get a couple of cinnamon rolls because she's just such a great person. Yeah. Not to seem like we're favoring anyone per se, but without saying Big Mama's house, who are some of the vendors that really kind of stick out in your head that frequent STL Vegan Market that you kind of look at like, I don't want to say building blocks per se, but because I know I know what I want to ask because I didn't. Now this has been on a lot of people's minds, and I'm glad I'm finally asking this. What precipitated the change from Saturdays to Sundays? Because I've had a couple people who've stated, man, I wish, even myself, I wish Kyle would have just kept it on Saturdays. What is it that made you go from Saturdays to Sundays?
Yes, so Troy, I believe I can handle this one because I was a much more integral part of the decision-making process before you've been volunteering with us for over a year. You had gotten in leadership positions within the last half year. But if you go back to February and March of this year, I think it was basically me and my family coordinating with, of course, the STL Vegan Market Planning Committee. But I can tell you it's a decision that I personally agonized over for months. Long story short, we got feedback from several vendors that Saturday didn't work very well for them, and we wanted to try Sunday. And then we put it to a vote, and it was almost 50-50. It was technically like a 60-40 split in favor of Sunday. And so we tried Sunday. We played around with the time a couple different times this season. Then we tried to go back to Saturday in June, and that caused an implosion in both vendor and visitor turnout. There was also tornadic weather, and it was nearly canceled or postponed. But after that experience, we realized we had to go back to Sunday, and here's why. Every single vendor we asked, basically every vendor there, on that Saturday in June, I believe it was Saturday, June 13th, they all universally said they prefer Sunday. So even the vendors who came on Saturday said they prefer Sunday. And here's why. Because many vendors like Sweet Treats of St. Louis, like Taryn, like Big Mama, are very busy on Saturday because that's when the large majority of markets are. There are some markets on weeknights, but most markets fall on Saturday morning and early afternoon, just like Tower Grove Farmers Market. And what would happen for vendors like Big Mama and Kurt Stiles and many others is that they would get up at 3, and especially if they're a food vendor, very early in the morning. We're talking 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, and then they would go to Tower Grove Farmers Market or another like Lake St. Louis Farmers Market, etc. And then by the time they got home for our market, which ends at 7 or 8 depending on the month, well, October technically ends at 6 p.m. because sunset is so much earlier in October, they would have 15-plus hour days, and it just wasn't sustainable. And so even though we could bring out a decent crowd, it's just a lot more comfortable for most vendors to go on Sunday. And I want to personally apologize to everyone for the 2 or 3 changes we made. We have really shuffled things around and pulled out the rug from under people. That might be a little bit of an overstatement, but it is inconvenient. At a bare minimum, it is inconvenient to have made as many changes as we have, and we really broke up that 3-year-long tradition we had of the second Saturday of the month markets. But just based on everything that happened, based on vendor preference, based on what happened at that Saturday market we did in June, we have to keep it on Sunday. And right now we're going after what I tell vendors is the lucrative lunch crowd on Sunday afternoon. So now instead of the second Saturday of the month, the market's on the second Sunday of the month from 12 to 3 p.m. And one of the advantages to doing that, I actually made a list of like 8 and I sent it to all the vendors so they know we thought through this very seriously before making one final change, is that the thing about the market, and this happened to you, the time when it's in the evening, it shifts throughout the year. It would be in April 3 to 7, in May 4 to 8, in October 2 to 6. That creates inconsistency, and some vendors show up late or they show up early and they waste time or they can't participate. And sometimes visitors like you come an hour or 2 early by accident, and it's like, oh no, this month it's actually an hour or 2 later because sunset is later and there's no lighting at 2 Acre Park. So we kind of have to go with the sun. But yeah, so we're just going to keep it basically forever until the end of the world, the end of time, on the second Sunday of the month from 12 to 3. We might revisit it and maybe put it on a weekday evening at some point, but at least through the end of the year, it's going to be the second Sunday of the month, 12 to 3. And I promise you there will be no more changes. Unfortunately, a couple vendors have reached out to me and told me that the Sunday doesn't work as well as them because at least one of them has church. The other, I forget the reason they gave. But the thing about when we were doing Sunday evening is a little awkward. People don't like to be out and about Sunday night. They like to settle in, relax, and get ready for the work week because many people do work 9 to 5 jobs and they don't like to be out late Sunday night. It's sort of like sacred time. So unfortunately, even our best solution doesn't work very well. But Saturday is off limits because the morning and afternoon people have other markets. The evening people have markets in the morning and afternoon, so it's a very long work day for them. And then Sunday, the evening didn't work, so that just leaves like the morning and afternoon, and we didn't want to do the morning because a lot of people have church. And then we decided to do the afternoon to go after the lunch crowd. And there are actually quite a few vegan markets that do Sunday afternoon, so it's not unheard of for a vegan market to be on the Sunday afternoon. But I recognize it was a lot of changes. It's inconvenient. It's unfortunate. It caused a lot of confusion. And I'm just very personally sorry for all that rigmarole. I'm very sorry to the community, but you have my word. It's going to be at least through the end of the year until we revisit it, maybe in November, December. But I strongly suspect we're probably going to keep it on the second Sunday of the month, 12 to 3. So that's sort of the story. And if you have any follow-up questions, let me know. But I agonized over that decision because even the initial vote was close, but with everything that happened, vendors wound up strongly, and basically universally preferring Sunday instead of Saturday. So that's how that happened. And just sorry again about all that.
Oh, no. Trust me. And I'm glad you gave that answer. Thank you for that as well, because once again, the community needed to know why, and you really touched on the process as to why it happened that way, why the changes went that way, which is great because consumers a lot of times don't understand, as we know, what the vendor goes through. Like you stated, 15 hours out of a 24-hour day working, it doesn't matter what the weather's like. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time consuming. Giving the public a small view inside of the think tank thought process is welcoming. It's very welcoming because, and you touched on it a little bit. First, before I go any further, one of my good friends, he said, "Is there any kitchens available for a traveling chef to prep and fly in, fly in. We Chef, we gonna get with you on that one. We really are, cause we really would love. I'm dying for you to get her, and cause Chef Scooby, he gets down. He's been on the show a couple of times. Um, the last time he was on, man, he was talking about using a bamboo uh for the bone on some ribs. So that's just yeah, that's what we talking about. Anytime we can depend, I can depend on Chef every time when either way, if I'm posting something or if anybody else is posting something, and he's always going to come with the facts as to whatever it is, whatever it is. And it's like personally being fact checked by a friend. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's always done out of love and respect and out of honor for the for the for the cause. You know what I'm saying? He's only about health and wellness and pushing that forward. So if you, it's like if I've posted some things before, and my shit may not have been right, and he'll make sure he puts a comment like, X Y Z, and I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about. Iron sharpening iron. But to get back to what we were talking about, um, like I stated, with the role that STL vegan community, vegan market plays in our community, and with you at the head of that role, and like I stated, when I bumped into you on June 13th, and we were talking about and we literally talked in the middle of the street, on Vanderbilt, well, not Vanderbilt, Forest Park, and we talked about the confusion, and that caused that, it was that particular day, and we just talked about how things were at that time, but like I stated, when you, because that's what the mark of a good leader is, to being able to open myself up for criticism and being able to take that criticism and move it in a positive way, and not combat people who may be criticizing me in a positive way or a negative way. Because when you're doing things that out in the public like that, you're going to get negative feedback and you're going to get positive feedback. But to be able to take everybody's comments, critiques, whatever it may have been, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, like even with me, like you said, like you heard me say, like, man, I wish it would have stayed on Saturday. But now to get a greater understanding of how the process went, you know what I'm saying? Because we're selfish on the other end as consumers. We want it. Oh man, I just went on Saturday. I just want to go up, but we're not understanding the other part and how much easier it is to be on Sundays. People always resist change at first, but once you see the greater good of it, then it becomes easier as time goes forward. At first, yeah, we're all going to be like, yeah, I wish it would have stayed on Saturday, But even like knowing now, when the schedule is going to be pretty much set to the second Sunday. Now, in a way, I can know, like, some days I'm going to be recording on the second Sundays.
Oh, no.
Some days, you know what I'm saying? Some days I know I'm not going to be recording on the second Sunday. So, you know what I'm saying? It's for just knowing more of a way to where there's no conflict, and just continuing to move forward, just pushing forward. And some of the vendors that I've seen at Tower Grove, I'm hoping that they can get a chance to come to STL Vegan Market. One particular person that stands out in my mind, I hate to single. I'm not gonna say I hate to single anybody out, because I don't. But if you guys have not had Tastachios,
No.
you ever had Tastachios?
No.
Have you?
No.
Oh
They're
my
gonna be on the
goodness.
show soon. Tastachios, I bumped into them a couple weeks ago at no, it's been over a month now at Tower Grove Farmer Market. They are outstanding. That pistachio butter, it is off the hook. It really is. Man, that's a great peanut butter sandwich. Cause I got pistachios at home, and I also got some strawberry jalapeno jelly.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds delicious.
Everything that you're imagining, yes, it tasted that good. Trust me. It was a spicy peanut butter and jelly sandwich. In its essence, that's what it is. But when you add the other flavor, that's one thing. That's one thing that we try to get across to people in in regards to telling them about becoming plant based is you have the you have so many different options that you can explore. It helps you with opening up your palate. You want to try different things. Like I stated, in essence, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yeah, but it's pistachio butter and strawberry jalapeno jelly. And if you ain't never had strawberry jalapeno jelly or some spicy jelly, you missing out. Just point blank, you're missing out. And like I state all the time, first and foremost, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, have you had your plants today to the public? But as well, if it's rabbit food, there's only one rabbit I know that eats this good. And that's Bugs Bunny. No other rabbit eats this good. I'm just saying. If they want to keep calling it rabbit, am I lying? They keep calling it rabbit food. But are you? I'm not suffering for taste anywhere I go. I am. That's the last thing that we actually have to deal with is worrying about the taste profile, and that's whether it's Fritas, whether it's Terra Tacos, Dirty Vegan Shack, Treehouse. I can go on and on and on. Whether if it's St. Louis or across the nation, um, I just love the fact that spreading the good word in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a foodie and I love good food. I love food that tastes good. I was this way before I became plant based. I've only been plant based almost 3 years. It'd be 3 years in January. I'll be 55 in October, and I always state I wish I would have started this 20, 25 years ago. Honestly, because of the way that it's made me feel as a person, health wise, and then the things I've become much more of an open person. Not like I was just like ice cold, but it's helped me just reach out to people more and become more, like I said, more open, more to my extroverted side. I'm more of an introvert. I mean, some people think I'm an extrovert, but I'm an introvert. Trust me, I'm an introvert. I don't like being around people, but I can deal with them. But nah, I'm a former customer service professional, but I'm more of an introverted person. But I do love speaking and about being plant based. I love learning about being plant based. I love sharing information, especially amongst men. I don't care what color you are, sexual orientation, men. Period. Wanting to live and eat healthier is one of my main objectives in life because we get so used to men being men, the stereotypes that we quote unquote live up to, or want to live up to, or are supposed to live up to per se. And that could be when it comes to eating. I'll give you a good example. For some strange reason, people think becoming plant based or becoming a vegan, like that's gonna take away from you being tough, supposedly, or you're less than a man. It's like because you eat a 52-ounce steak that you think that makes you manly. And not to get off the subject, but have you had the steak at Frida's? Have you ever had the steak by Chunk Foods?
I have had it. It's incredible. I
Let
remember
them know, Troy.
it. I asked the server, I was like, wow, you have vegan steak, and then when I tried it, it was so tasty, and they also had an appetizer with.
Don't say it. I've had it.
Yeah, you've had it. I don't remember what it was, but
they
it was
had
so good.
it. They had it for the Mother's Day brunch. They had the steak bites.
Yeah, steak bites.
They had
and it was just. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna rub it in his face for a second.
Yeah.
They had the steak bites on baguettes. Honestly, the Mother's Day brunch that she had, it was on par with a brunch at a resort. It really was.
Oh, yeah.
She had that much food out, and it was outstanding. It truly was. I've had the steak platter. Yeah, I'll let you go ahead and finish talking about it. But I had the steak. I had the steak with Yukon potato, the Yukon mash, and the asparagus, and Curly. She had it in the Southwestern bowl. I don't know which one you had.
I think I had the original, the one you had.
And just if you can, man, just speak on that steak, because, man,
the texture of it and just even the look of it, like when you cut it, it's just, I don't know, it's so meaty, and I don't think I'd ever really eaten steak alone before I went vegan, but it was really good. However it tasted, it was amazing.
I'm like you, where it's like, you don't want to say indescribable, but it's almost like it's like you're telling somebody, man, you just gotta eat it.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the first time I heard about it, big shout out to Brooklyn Organic Kitchen from Westchester, New York. We had them on, and she had a frozen one, and she showed it to us on the camera, and it's like the size of a filet mignon. 27 grams of protein.
Wow.
Yes. Chunk Foods, they sell them 4 in a pack. You get like 4 for I think it's like $16. I haven't bought them at home yet for some strange reason. I don't know why. But that steak, only person I know that's doing it is Frida's. I don't know why anybody else has not incorporated this. But hey, if y'all want to keep missing out on it, that's on y'all. Just like a perfect example of something that's missing out on a menu. One thing that I was really big on before he got into trouble, a long time ago, they used to call me the Black Jared, because I used to eat Subway so much at this travel agency that I worked for. This was before he got in trouble with the kids.
Oh my gosh.
And the reason I bring that up is one of the most popular sandwiches at Subway is the meatball sub. And you think about it, outside of STL Vegan Deli, who's doing the meatball sub? Nobody.
There's actually one place, Plantcraft Kitchen. I'm not sure if
she's
it's
doing
still on their menu, but as of half a year ago, it was. Yeah, like a meatball parmesan sandwich. It was very good. I loved it.
Myself.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I haven't been to Plantcraft Kitchen in a while. We tried to do like a dual live one time. Marchette had went to Kansas City for something, and she was at big shout out to the Fix restaurant in Kansas. If you guys haven't been to
Oh my gosh.
Oh
yes.
yeah, the Fix. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait a minute. So you've been there and had a shake then?
Yeah, I was actually I didn't want to talk too much about shakes. But,
it's cool, man. This is a safe space.
Last time I went a few months ago, I got at least 2, maybe 3, and I was kind of scared to upset the staff because I kept coming up and saying, "Can I please have just strawberry or the different flavors they had," because it was so good.
One of the best vegan spots in Kansas City is the Fix restaurant. I'm glad somebody else has been there to. Have you been there? Have you been there, Kyle?
I haven't, but hopefully we're going to launch a chapter there soon. And I've also come out, at least indirectly, in defense of a new vegan restaurant in town, I believe called Madrina Vegana. And they used like one AI-generated flyer, and you would not believe the amount of flack they received. I was experiencing secondhand trauma by how brutalized they were by people's ridiculous attacks. I mean, yeah, AI posters aren't good, but to attack a vegan restaurant to such extent that they're going to lose business and maybe go out of business, I just think that that is very counterproductive. And I think there are better things to do, like say, oh, I know this graphic designer who might be able to help you for a cheap, reasonable rate. But I kid you not, I have screenshots. The attacks were so severe in vegan Kansas City, and eventually the admins stepped in and started shutting that down. And people in the weeks since have been posting statements of support about, I believe it's Madrina Vegana, this new 100% vegan Mexican restaurant in Kansas City. But the attacks were frankly ludicrous and just unbelievable. I'd never seen a fellow vegan restaurant be attacked so severely.
Over what?
Over like literally one AI generated flyer. Just one. Maybe there's a second one, but as far as I'm aware, there's just one AI generated flyer.
The reason I got this incredulous look on my face is because
it happened. I have some of the screenshots. It happened.
I was just there. I was just there a few weeks ago, and took some nice photos, had some food and everything. Matter of fact, met two guys there. They're supposed to be coming on the show. Two guys from Kansas City, but I talked to the owner because she has that spot in Kansas City, and she has another spot in New York City, and she told me she's supposed to be coming on. We were trying to get her on this week, but she had some other commitments, but she's gonna be on soon. And I didn't know that this was going on. Oh my God, man!
It was bullying. It was
Over
extreme bullying over literally one, maybe two. I heard rumors there might have been a second one.
I mean, this is just over what though? If it's not over the food, what's the problem?
Because maybe this is useful to say, especially given your commitment to plant-based eating and specifically supporting local plant-based restaurants. But small nonprofits have a lot in common with small vegan businesses. And if you don't support them, they die.
I don't think that they are 100% vegan, though, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, they are?
I'm pretty sure that Madrina, if I might be messing up that first name, but Madrina Vegana, I'm pretty sure is 100% vegan, and they only came on the scene in Kansas City within the last few months. I remember there was a lot of energy, excitement, and enthusiasm around their grand opening. And on top of it all, I haven't verified this, but I think they're kind of a hole-in-the-wall type establishment.
Yeah,
they don't have like a big fancy restaurant and people were trying to drive them out of business. Fellow vegans were trying to drive one of the only vegan restaurants in Kansas City out of business. And it's just unbelievable to me. I mean, yeah, AI-generated flyers are bad, but do you really want to direct this much hatred?
What they got to do with anything? It's a flyer. we got restaurants closing nationwide. It's almost like I don't want to say an epidemic per se, but that's one thing that like before you got here, one thing that we were talking about before is the main goal. One of our main goals with Red, Black, and Vegan. One of Kyle's main goals with STL Vegan Market. We are about pulling people together. Nothing more. Positivity. Nothing negative. Anything negative, we want to push that to the side. Me personally, I have a mantra that I try to go by. No matter how bad the situation looks or seems, try your hardest to find a silver lining. It may be minute, but there is a silver lining somewhere. It may be hard to find. But in a situation like this, when we have restaurants that are closing and we're trying to find viable options to eat at, that's like me trying to work against STL Vegan Market, and we both do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? That's like if I was biased about having guests on the show who do what I do. I don't care that you do the same thing. When the whole end goal is let people know about a better way to eat and live. I don't care that your profile or your platform is bigger than mine. That's the last thing that I care about. We're both saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So let's try to get the word out. So, but to actively try to close somebody down when restaurants are closing left and right, or people are having to decide, do I want to be strictly plant-based or have both just to stay in business? That's crazy. I don't like dealing. I don't like things like that. I don't like dealing with negativity. At this stage in my life, I don't like bringing on negative baggage. I'm all about, like I stated, man, just being positive. You know what I'm saying? Positivity,
Yeah.
bringing people together, bringing communities together, in the vein of being plant-based first, first and foremost. But man, with that being said, what kind of things do we have coming forward in the future?
Yes, so I think I can speak to that, and let me pull this a little closer so your listeners can hear more properly. We are planning our second annual Vegan Trivia Night to celebrate Project Animal Freedom's 8th anniversary.
If I can find it.
And there's going to be jazz, maybe some Motown, I believe it's called. Hera Gerber, she's an incredible person, been vegan for decades, but she's finding us some talented local musicians play jazz and I believe Motown and maybe some other type of genres as well. There's going to be a silent auction. There's going to be a vegan potluck. There's going to be free drinks. Not the boozy kind, but like really good strawberry lemonade from Costco. That's what we'll have drink-wise. It's unbelievably good and pretty cheap, which I appreciate. But yeah, the Vegan Trivia Night is one of the only vegan trivia nights in the entire country. I just scraped the internet 1 or 2 days ago, and there are only 5 or 6 vegan trivia nights that have ever happened in this entire country, and this is one of the only recurring ones, if not the only recurring ones. So the American Vegan Center, I want to say in Boston, Massachusetts, they did a vegan trivia night. There was a group in Portland that did a vegan trivia night, but as far as I'm aware, we have the only vegan trivia night in the entire Midwest. And then there are 1 or 2 like really small events where like maybe it was a vegan friendly restaurant, not even fully vegan, but they did a trivia night at it. But when you come to like a full-fledged vegan trivia night where every question is about veganism, animal rights, plant-based living, our local vegan scene, yeah, you can't really find that but a handful of places in the entire world. So it's actually very special. It's very special to have vegan trivia night. And even if you don't think you're going to enjoy it, just do it because you're probably going to have a lot more fun than you think. Last year we had 61 people, and we recently had a vegan soap making class. I was out of town for that. Incidentally, I stumbled across the American Vegan Center, which I think is either moving or potentially closing. I think it was either Pittsburgh or Boston, but one of those big cities nearby New York City that my family and I went to. But anyway, talking about the Vegan Trivia Night, you may not think you'll enjoy it, but you'll have a lot more fun than you think, especially if you're vegan. If you're non-vegan, you may not have very much fun because you may not know basically anything. But if you're vegan, you probably will have more fun than you think, so it's worth coming out to the Vegan Trivia Night. Even if trivia isn't your thing, even if you feel like, for whatever reason. But like with the vegan soap making class, I thought I would hate it because I did a soap making class a month or 2 ago with Dr. Priya Pratt, who's advising the vegan market, and a key reason we now have a consistent date and time, second Sunday of the month, 12 to 3 p.m. So yeah, huge shout out to Dr. Priya Pratt of Life and Styles. You might want to bring her on sometime. But yeah, I thought I would hate the vegan soap making. It was one of the most relaxing things I ever did. And you might think a vegan trivia night is just stuffy and boring. You're going to have a lot of fun, especially if you bring some friends along at your table, or even if you get matched with new people at the event and, you just sort of get like assigned a table and you sit with each other. You'll make new friends. It will be fun.
One of the questions that I had when in regards to vegan trivia night are these just basically trivia questions that are vegan centered, or just any kind of trivia?
It's specifically vegan trivia, which is what makes it so incredibly rare. There are only a handful of other events like it, not only in the U.S., but in the entire world. So every question, and we haven't decided how many questions there'll be. There'll probably be at least 4 10-question rounds. Last year, I think we did 5 10-question rounds. And the challenge is we have to come up with 40, 50 entirely new questions. But at any rate, it is 100% vegan trivia at a 100% vegan event. And to find something like that, there's nothing like it in the Midwest. There's only 2 or 3 things in the country and maybe only like half a dozen in the entire world. So a vegan trivia night is actually much rarer than a vegan market, believe it or not.
Yeah. Now, one thing that stood out of my mind when you were just talking. I've been to Boston. I wasn't plant-based at the time. The Boston area, I don't know if you're aware of this, but they're known for pizza. So I was going to ask you, was it any meal or anything that stood out to you when you went to Boston?
Yes, I'm trying to remember something about Monster Vegan, I think.
Monster Vegan?
Monster Vegan. It was phenomenal. I got their clams and linguine. It was so good. It was amazing. I got their zombie, or wait, was it their Frankenstein ice cream dish? It's gourmet ice cream with Oreos and chocolate sauce and mint ice cream. It was so good. Oh my God, yeah, Monster Vegan. I want to say it's in Boston, Massachusetts. We didn't try any pizza, unfortunately, but I did get that Italian linguine and clams dish because you can't really get vegan clams anywhere.
Right.
And it was made with oyster mushroom, I believe, but it was like the best vegan pasta I ever had.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Monster Vegan. I think it's in
Vegan.
Boston. It's nearby New York City. It's not in New York City. But yeah, locally, speaking about pizza locally, we're trying to do another meetup with Pizza Head, which is the St. Louis's finest vegan-friendly pizza joint. And we have a whole article about vegan pizza in St. Louis. And Troy, you helped me with that article.
Yes.
And we're coming out with the vegan dessert article as well. And that's going to have a lot of amazing options that many people, including fellow vegans, may not realize either. So, oh my God, yeah. It's
Wait,
food. It's food.
Now, as someone who frequents Pizza Hut a lot, I'm talking about the host of the show. I work next door, literally. I work right next door. So, with that being said, I'm very well versed in the slice of the day.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you got a chance. Earlier this year, they had a sampler. They had the cashew cheese. They had vegan mozz, and they had another kind. I don't know if you had the vegan mozzarella, but it's off the hook. I was just going to ask you though. I can ask both of you guys if you had a favorite slice from Pizza Hut.
Oh. I'm very opinionated on this one. Meat Lovers Pizza with extra sauce and extra cashew cheese, 110%.
I also love the Meat Lovers, but I think I like more the Supreme because, it's got the random veggies on it and stuff. And I always have to top it with a lot of their cashew parm. So delicious. And a cookie, too. Their cookies.
They cookies off the hook. They sold out of the cookies right now. But me, yes, the meat lovers, but you gotta that bottle of hot sauce that's on the counter. You have to squirt that all on the piece. I don't even know what's in that hot sauce, but it's like that that Frank's commercial. We put that on everything. But that and they got a white.
The spinach and artichoke one?
Yeah.
That is so good. The
good,
mozzarella on it is...
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm getting hungry as hell just sitting around talking about this. But man, this was a great time. I'm so glad you guys came by today. I'm glad we got a chance to let people know about the hip hop celebration that we're having on November 1st. I don't care about I don't say I don't care, but unfortunately we had quite a few cancellations this weekend, which is not a problem at all because things happen the way they are supposed to happen. We had to have a one-on-one with STL Vegan Market because the community wanted a one-on-one with STL Vegan Market, and the community needed to know the direction, why certain things have happened. I today am representing St. Louis, and I am thoroughly pleased with the answers that we've gotten today in regards to why the market was moved to Sundays, the direction that it's going in the future. um, our new family member, where STL Vegan Market and the St. Louis Animal Rights Team is going in the future, because they said a child will lead them.
Absolutely. And a quick comment about what you said earlier about promoting positivity and avoiding
Yes, sir.
negativity. I wasn't trying to spread rumors or gossip about Madrina Vegana, but it's what I saw. And I saw at least half a dozen posts, and I read some of the comments. And again, I was getting secondhand trauma just watching them be bullied like that. And no vegan business deserves that. No vegan business, let alone one as good as Madrina Vegana. So I don't want to accidentally have, spoken about negativity or poisoned your potential conversation with Madrina Vegana, but they might have some really useful insight about what it was like to experience
Right.
those attacks and the effect it may have had on their business. My hope is they got more business, and a lot of posts have since come out in the weeks since the admin of Vegan Kansas City started shutting down those conversation. It was bullying. Okay, so
No, and to speak on that in another vein. Once again, what we are about here, and with both of our platforms, is about connecting people locally, nationally, worldwide. But what we have been actively doing behind the scenes and up front is trying to establish more of a connection statewide, getting Kansas City and St. Louis connected, and therefore connecting more and more with the rest of the country, trying to be more connected, trying to be more affiliated, even like how I was saying, getting all the vegan markets together. Let's get them together in St. Louis. Let's get them together within the state of our borders. Let's all work together, and that way we can present ourselves as more unified to the rest of the country when we're trying to work with them on regional and national events, trying to get more of a foothold for the St. Louis community, the St. Louis vegan community, which gets sometimes a bad rap, sometimes gets a good rap, depending on whose perspective that you're talking to. Once again, here, we only look at the positive side. We're not trying to focus on the negative side. We're just, once again, pulling people together, point blank, first and foremost. And the more that we can work together here, the more we can work together throughout the state and throughout the country. Because I remember a few months ago I asked you, I saw like a page, it was Kansas City Vegan Market, and I'm like, Kyle, you doing something in Kansas City now? And he was like, well, I ain't really want to say anything yet, but I am. This is his exact words to me. He's like, I don't want to say nothing yet, but I am trying to establish some things, and it just speaks to, once again, what we're all about, and what we're trying to do is pull everybody together and work as much as we can. A couple of the guests that we've had in the past couple of months, Queen Naja. I want to get his message name up, but I want to say Richard Rogers. He's the head of Philly Veg Fest, but he's also the head of the International Federation of Vegan Festivals.
send me their contact info, please. I would love to connect.
That's what we're trying to do. Queen Naja, she was just on last month and a half ago at the most, because she was getting ready for. She's from Baltimore. She's based in Baltimore, sorry, but she's originally from New York, and she was getting ready for Black Veg Fest in New York City, and they had just the lineup that they had. They had Dr. Milton Mills, John Sally. But that was Philly Veg Fest. But just what I mean is trying to get St. Louis to a point where we can go ahead and connect, because they've already connected with Midwest Soul Veg Fest. And it's like, wait a minute. How y'all skip over us and get all the way over there? You know what I'm saying? Damn, man. Y'all went across the country and you just jumped right over St. Louis. And it's like, and from what I know and my experience, personally, from what I've seen, our footprint in veganism and as far as with restaurants, it's bigger here than it is in Kansas City. We have more restaurants here. We have more access here. In my eyes, but they have more already connectivity to the bigger structure. So it's like, what can we do to bring ourselves together so we can be affiliated with that? Because there's power and strength in numbers, and if they already have a quote unquote in a way corporate structure, you want to say, or I don't want to say corporate backing, but their infrastructure is already set up, and it's like you want to glean off that. You want to work with them, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever we can do to make everything bigger and better and get this message out. That's what we're trying to move forward to in 2026, 2027 on forward, and hopefully we can bring everybody together and get the St. Louis Veg Fest just as I wish our Veg Fest was a little bigger in regards to the restaurants that come out. Just I understand it may not be your biggest money maker because we understand going in, it's a fair, and we know what kind of food sells at fairs, but it's more so of wanting people selfishly in a way just to come out and just put your name out just so the event can get more notoriety or people will respect the event more. You kind of, you know what I'm saying, in a way. It's like when you know like certain, it's almost like with Veg Fest for the last 2 years, knowing that Bombay Food Junkies is one of the biggest sponsors or vendors, it gives it a certain more respect. It's not, you're not looking at it like some small event. And I'm just using them as an example because they're one of the most popular restaurants in St. Louis, in our community. I've never met anyone who said they didn't like Bombay Food Junkies, and this is even before or after changing the menu. Some because if anyone's a veteran, it was a lot more Indian based at first, and I loved it because excuse me. I remember having conversations with Sid at the table with him explaining dishes, which is like we talked about before, that sharing of information. That's the part that I love, with him being able to explain a cultural dish, from their dish, from his culture, and being able to explain it to me as to why they ate it. Matter of fact, if I can get the name of it right, it's like a minty dish.
Mint chutney.
It's not a chutney or anything.
It's not the vada pav.
But it's something that they ate. Basically, it was
Gobi?
like they. It's like green, really minty, but they kind of like ate it for like in a way like a after dinner, not mint.
Oh, I know that word. It's a funny word.
Yeah.
It has like a lot of vowels in it. It's like pavane or what is it?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to mess the name up, but
yeah, I know what you're talking. It's like a cleanser for your mouth.
Yeah,
yes,
but it's like
I've only gotten it once.
The experience of hearing him talk about it and explain it made the eating experience even better because of that part. You're explaining to me why your culture likes this, what it meant in your culture. You know what I'm saying? We're not just that. It makes the eating experience, way better. We're not just eating. We're learning and eating and sharing. You know what I'm saying? And that when you can have a meal like that, it makes that taste even better to me, because now I'm really sharing and learning about your culture, which is as someone who loves travel, it doesn't get any better than that for me because now I'm eating something that tastes good, and I'm learning about something I didn't know. Because that exchange of information, that's what I thrive on. That I love exchanging information because people always, whenever you can hear somebody say, "Man, I didn't know that," and it's like it's not someone trying to be smarter than someone. It's just sharing information. I know something. I want you to know it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you can tell him. He can, and we can all tell someone. As long as the message doesn't get distorted, and it comes off like I said one thing, and then 2 weeks later, hey, he flew on a rocket to the moon. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I just said I like rockets. but you know, I had that old experiment when you were in school when they like tell somebody to keep it, and then when it gets all the way around,
telephone.
Yeah. But once again, man, I'm thankful and so glad we had a chance to have this conversation. I'm looking forward to what we got going in the future, this wonderful party and celebration that we're going to have. It came to my mind a few months ago, actually, because I thought about last year and how World Vegan Day came, and I'm like, damn, we didn't do anything. No. And it's like, how can we be plant-based and not have like the biggest celebration for World Vegan Day? This is the one day we as plant-based and vegan in the community are supposed to just let our hair down and kick it for real. This is World Vegan Day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, it only makes sense to have a big ass party. I'm not even a big party person like that. I'm an introvert, but I'll celebrate veganism, and I'll definitely celebrate hip hop. With that being said, though, once again, I want to thank you guys for coming by. I want to give a big shout out to the people who canceled. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but as I always tell everybody, and to speak on what you said not too long ago, a second ago, vegan in Portland, yes, I am waiting on you. I am waiting on you. Like I tell everybody, your invite never expires. If you had to cancel for any reason, there are no hard feelings. Your invite never expires. We are here to spotlight and help anyone we possibly can. That's our goal here at Red, Black, and Vegan. You are cordially invited, whoever's looking, to come and share your story, because you never know who your plant-based journey can inspire. We've had people come on the show who have reversed all kinds of health issues: asthma, cancer, diabetes, fibroids. Whatever you may or may not be dealing with, you can come here and share your story, because you never know who is at home wondering, do I want to keep taking these pills? Why aren't these pills working? Everything I've tried, it's not working. We're telling you, go plant-based. Let your food be your medicine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not going to work. And like I always say online, if you think I'm telling you something wrong, ask your doctor. See if I'm lying. What do I got to lie to you about? I'm just telling you. It's not a game. Not at all. But at this point, we're trying to play the outro.
You've seen so much.
You've seen a lot.
You've been through it all.
Talked a lot. And been through a lot
and the
today.
vibration and the frequency.
I want to give
was
a big
so
shout out
different
to my coworker who's not here today, but she's here in spirit, as y'all
that
saw.
We stood on.
These
you know what I mean?
Fritters.
30 years.
I'm gonna give y'all one more look.
Though it died for me was
just in case y'all didn't see him earlier.
If I can't live how I wanna live. Now I wanna live.
Oh, there go my boy. Big
so
shout out. STL Vegan Deli and Butcher.
Who else gonna carry on tradition?
Chris.
Hold up, man. I'm here, baby.
Hold up. I gotta stop.
Cuban link built, sleep on satin silk quilts. Spinning through them blocks for me and half a mil chill.
Normally I don't stop my outro for nobody, but Chris is my boy. Chris, that Juicy Lucy yesterday was rated 5 plants. I ate it and I ate it too fast. I didn't get a chance to put it on video. But if you never had a Juicy Lucy in your life, if you hear that STL Vegan Deli and Butcher is doing a Juicy Lucy, get over there. Otherwise, get your ass to Minnesota and get a Juicy Lucy. But if you hear STL Vegan Deli and Butcher is doing it, hey, I almost bit my finger. 5 plants, straight up. Like I said, I don't stop my outro for nobody, but that's my guy. 2 weeks, September 6th, we gonna see y'all again. The road to the vegans, red, black, and vegan. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Just remember, we don't want no beef with nobody at all. Physically, literally, figuratively, no beef. Only positivity. Love my people. Love our guests. We'll see y'all soon. Very soon.
Always walk light, but hit hard.
Always.